Welcome. It's RM Punk here, and this is the Punk Wrestling Podcast NXT Review Edition. So, let's get to it, shall we? But first and foremost, give that like a super kick and hit that subscribe button with an RKO. Let's get this channel going, shall we? We will talk about NXT today. It was a packed show, lots going on, 3 title matches and 2 big announcements. So we will get straight into it. Regal starts the show off. He's going to make his announcements. And the first announcement is WrestleMania week. We will now have a 2-night takeover on the 7th and 8th of April. NXT takeover, Stand and Deliver. Oh, NXT week's going to be a busy week for me. Next up, the women are all on the ramp. And the second announcement is the women's tag team titles. NXT, which was very much rumoured. Dakota and Raquel are given the titles after the screw job last week. They're just giving them. And that's it. Dakota starts running down the rest of the division. They beat them all. They created these championships just for us. And it's just the first step in them taking over the world. Yeah. Dakota... They're carrying on with their promo, and then Shotzi and Ember come out to congratulate them and set themselves up the challenger, and that will be tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So I like the belts. Let's get on to that. They are typical NXT belts with a bit of white leather, and who doesn't like a bit of white leather in their wrestling belts? I know I do. But the first match of the night, Io Shirai versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's title. Oh, this was a good match. Of course it was. It was Toni Storm and Io Shirai. The story is, does Toni have Io's number, as Toni is beating her in one-on-one competition? But this is a good one. Good back and forth to start the match off. Io does get the 619 and a springboard dropkick for a 2 count. Storm hits a superplex and a German with a bridge for a 2 count. Shirai hits the moonsault from the top rope out to the outside at one point. That was nice. Toni hits a nice sit-out powerbomb for 2. Io misses the moonsault and Storm 0, but just 2. Storm misses a diving headbutt. Shirai locks in a crossface and Toni taps. Still champion Io Shirai. This was a very good way to start off the show. Who you got beating Io? Who's the next challenger? We will find out, I'm sure. I would like to see one of these ladies make it to the main roster come after Mania season. I think Io's probably done as much as she can at this point in NXT. Maybe it's time for her to move on soon, drop the belt somewhere around Mania and make her appearance. But we'll see. Finn cuts a quick promo backstage on Adam Cole that basically Cole has no backup anymore. What's he going to do on his own? Another backstage segment, LA Knight is there and he announces that next week will be his ring debut, and Bronson Reed gets into his face, but that is quickly broken up between the two. So it looks like next week we're going to get LA Knight in action. Will it be against Bronson Reed or will it be against someone else, and then Bronson Reed will get involved? But yeah, good start. Next up is Jake Atlas versus Pete Dunne. Now I was just like, well, bye fingers, Jake. But this was actually quite a competitive match. Atlas getting a lot of speedy offense in, hurricane runners, that kind of thing. But Dunn kept slowing him down, attacking the arm whenever he could get hold of him. And picks the bones. In the end, Dunn does win with a submission. Not a bad little match, this. Not a bad little match. After that, Dunn speaks. He says, it's Mania season, it's time to step up. But step up to me and this is what happens. He says he's the best technical wrestler in the world and dares someone to try and prove him wrong. So who do you think will step up? So technical wrestlers, who we got? We got Roderick Strong maybe? I don't really know who's going to end up challenging Dunn here. It's intriguing. Imperium have a little backstage segment and they are inviting Thatcher to join Imperium. And they say that if he needs permission from his friend, you can bring him along too. They'll make it work out of respect to Thatcher. This is interesting. We don't know where this one's going. Bringing up the past here, which is nice. I'm for this. Quick segment with Leon Ruff, basically saying that he's going to be Ruff versus Swerve next week on NXT. not much to this promo. I didn't take any notes on it. Next up is the women's tag team title defense, the first defense of their newly gained titles. And early on, Shotzi gets a cloverleaf onto Kai, which is on for a long time. Back from break, we get Shotzi hits a dive on Gonzalez, which was nice. Moon kicks out of the where Raquel throws them and Kai kicks them, which was nice. Gonzalez is dominant here, but there's a miscommunication between Kai and Raquel, which brings Shotzi and Moon back into the match. There are nice double teams for Moon and Shotzi throughout this match. Gonzalez counters the Eclipse, which was interesting. She has her up in kind of powerbomb position. Kai inadvertently pushes Moon and Gonzalez out of the ring. And Shotzi rolls up Kai and new women's tag team champions Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. So that was quick. They held the titles for around an hour. Yeah, interesting. We'll see where this one goes. It's odd that they dropped the straps so soon. But this is the problem with tag team titles, or women's tag team titles have been, is that you have these people in the tag teams that are clearly meant for bigger singles pushes, like Raquel Gonzalez. And you give them the titles, but then they need to get out of the titles to get the feuds going on the singles side. And it just messes things up. Hopefully this is not how it's going to be done going forward, but it wasn't the best start to the women's tag team titles. Shotzi and Ember are being congratulated by the NXT women. The Way are watching on in disgust. Austin comes into frame and asks if Johnny paid off the therapist, and Johnny's like, well, therapy ain't free. And then he fires up Austin to go after Loomis by saying he has a mediocre abdominal area, the things he said, all this, and Austin rips his shirt open and goes off. So yeah, it looks like we've got a fired up Austin. Next up was Kaden Carter versus Xia Lee. I just love this entrance. Absolutely love this entrance. I can't get enough of it. It was an aggressive start from Kaden, but Lee does take over. And Casey comes out and she's on crutches. It looks like Lee's going to do the same to Carter as she did to Casey. So he's looking to damage that knee. But Casey hits her with the crutch several times, causing a DQ. Boa gets involved, takes the crutch off of Casey and breaks it over his knee, and it looks like he's going to attack Casey, but Kaden hits Boa with the other crutch, and they leave. On the ramp, Lee and Boa bow to Mei Ling. Interesting. We get a quick promo from a Jordan Devlin. He is at the airport. His travel restrictions have been lifted and he is coming to America. He says it would be a shame for the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, the real NXT Cruiserweight Champion, not to be at Stand and Deliver. And he's coming for Santos. We are going to get that unification match at Stand and Deliver by the look of it. There's a quick Zoe Stark promo package. She does it all. Women on notice, no limit, etc, etc. Fine. Whatever. Santos is with Regal and he's not very happy. Who does this man think he is, saying he's coming, telling people he's the champion, I'm the champion. Algado del Fantasma have a match and Santos is like, I'm dealing with this, you go do it, you've got this. And it is Algado del Fantasma versus the Grizzled Young Veterans, heel versus heel here. How does it feel, Santos, to be Santos's puppets? Says old Zach Gibson, and giving him massages while the Grizzled Young Veterans make a name for themselves in the tag division. The match barely gets going here. We have the entrance from, looks like Breezango in their astronaut gear. But no, it is MSK. They take off the helmets to reveal it's MSK, and that distracts the Grizzled Young Veterans, and Algado del Fantasma win the match. MSK then attack the Grizzled Young Veterans, hitting them with the helmets, and Breezango come from the other side and they attack Del Fantasma, And then MSK and Fandango do a little dance with Tyler Breeze kind of just looking on like, okay, whatever. No, that was good. It was fine. It furthered the storylines here, but it wasn't anything like amazing. Kai and Gonzalez are backstage for an interview, asking what happened, and Gonzalez said it doesn't really matter how long we were champions, whether it was 5 minutes, 5 years, etc. We made history. We were the first tag team champions. Io Shirai comes into the shot, and she tells Raquel that she wants her next, and Raquel says, be careful what you wish for. That is the feud we're getting. It's going to be Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez, which is not to be unexpected, really. That's where we thought this was going, with a quick detour through the tag team division. So yeah, I think at Stand and Deliver it will be Io Shirai versus Gonzalez, and I can see Gonzalez picking up the win here. We get Thatcher interview. He's asked what he's going to do about all this Imperium. They've asked him to join and stuff, but Ciampa doesn't let him get a word in here. Ciampa says he is not interested in joining. What he is interested in is the General over there across the pond, safe with his title, and says, well, if we're not with them, then we must be against them. So how about Ciampa and Thatcher versus Imperium next week on NXT? Thatcher does not get a word in here, and they are teasing that he hasn't really decided which way he's swinging here, which way he's going to go for it. Again, interesting. Story building. Leave it at that. We get our main event. It is Adam Cole baby versus Finn Balor. And this match starts off quite ground-based. A lot of trading chin locks to a stalemate as we go to break. We have a quick advert break, and the pace is quickening in the second portion of that match. Back and forth counters. We get a pump kick to Finn. Cole looks to go for the suplex onto the steps like he did to O'Reilly, but Finn counters and suplexes Cole onto the ramp as we go to another break. Trading blows. Cole misses the Panama Sunrise. Finn hits the corner drop kick, misses coup de grace though, a super kick and crossface onto Finn, which was in for a good while before Finn gets to the ropes. The last shot gets 2. The Panama Sunrise gets 2, to the dismay of Adam Cole. O'Reilly appears at ringside. Finn hits 1916 onto the floor. A coup de grace in the ring, gets the 3, and still NXT champion Finn Balor. This was a great match. No surprises here with the participants involved. You shouldn't need me to tell you this. O'Reilly is standing over Cole, and he rips the Undisputed Armband off of Cole, and then he's attacking Cole. He pushes the ref out the way, attacks him again. He tries to do the suplex onto Cole on the steps, but the refs stop it. Cole breaks free of the refs, chasing Cole down. Finn is in the ring, and he says, what took you so long? Looks over. It's Cross. Of course it is. So that's where it looks where we're heading towards Finn and Cross at Stand and Deliver. So this was a packed show, and there was a lot of foundation built for the 2-night takeover. 7th and 8th of April we will have takeover, Stand and Deliver, night 1 and night 2. And then we've got 2-night WrestleMania as well that week, and SmackDown and Raw. And I don't know if you guys are from the UK fans, we go back to work on that week as well. Wonderful. No, it was a very good show. I enjoyed it. Like I said, thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe. Tag your mates in, tell all your friends, and have a good night.